Dear little girl, you've been afraid of looking at yourself for so long, it's been like afraid of the dark. Daddy always told me that I shouldn't be afraid of the dark, but I asked him, Daddy, what exactly do you mean? He said, well, baby girl, you really shouldn't be afraid of me. And I'm not saying me as your father, but I'm saying you as the image that I have created, or at least I knew how to. I knew how to draw the lines that he made me of, but I wasn't sure if I was to be made from love or to love. I just thought I was bought from above to be given him the opportunity to say, I did this. You did what? You just drew, or you just knew. You knew how much you loved you, but you didn't exactly knew what love could do. You thought I had this under control. I could go outside and build myself. I could go outside and be all, but I knew not myself. So I drew a few steps back. And I told myself, you're not supposed to be afraid of the dark. No, I'm not supposed to be afraid of being black. Let me say it again. I'm not supposed to be afraid of the dark. No, I'm not supposed to be afraid of being black. That's exactly the point that I've been making to you, Daddy. I'm not supposed to afraid. I'm not supposed to be afraid. I'm not supposed to be ashamed. Ashamed to look at my own image that comes from another image that draws to me and says to me, this is your possibility. You knew what you were supposed to do, and that's be you. You knew what you were not supposed to do, and that was do the opposite of what I taught you, and that was supposed to be just you. But Daddy, I'm afraid of you too. Afraid of me? How could that be? I taught you all the new steps you were meant to be, but it's not me that you really are afraid of. It's the sound that you hear on the outside of your image that you think everyone on the outside of your image is telling you what not to be. And I keep repeating it to you, just be free. That's for the public, at least they think they see. I go home sometimes and I tell myself this cannot be the possibility, that I'm afraid of really not you, not she, not he, but me. I look at myself in the mirror and I tell that little girl that grew up with high heels and pumps on, telling you you could do this. Just pump your image up, little girl. And I'm not talking about the height that you want to stand on. I'm telling you that you can be that strong. It doesn't take you wearing high heels to know that you can climb those highest mountains and be exactly what you needed to be. And that is the queen that I showed you in the mirror before you left to everything that came to impossibility. I told the little girl I was making up words just to make her hear me. To me, this was all that I had to dream about. I took myself back and I said, you can do this. Again, I said, you can do this. And then I told myself, again, it seems like I'm talking to myself, but I'm really not. I'm not supposed to be. I'm supposed to be me. I drew all these things in my mind and I told the world I could do this time, flip a dime. Tell yourself you can do this more than you can even say not to. I told that little girl that looked across from me, you can do this too. She turned and looked at me and said, what do you mean? I'm not you and you're not me. So how can we all make this a part of our story? We say her story instead of his because we are what we're making. I'm telling you, little girl, you could do this within the making. That little girl took a deep breath and stared back at me. She stood there as strong as she could possibly be and say, I'm not as tall as you. I said, but it's a dream that can make you just as strong as you want to be. She said to that little girl that came upon her, this thing we have as a dream can all become a possibility of reality. So just be me. Boom.